Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I'm very excited to try this puzzle. It's called Counting Calories. It's by Marty Sears, so we already know we're in for a treat. But I have had some emails about this puzzle suggesting this is about as good as it's possible for a Sudoku puzzle to be. People using words like, this is my favourite ever puzzle, and these are not people who've only done one puzzle in their lives. These are people who have done thousands of Sudokus in their lives. So apparently this is an absolute masterpiece. It's some sort of play, I think, on Choco Banana, which I vaguely recollect. I've done a puzzle that has Choco Banana rules before. Don't worry though, because the rules are explained in the rules that I'm about to read you, and it doesn't seem to me like we need to be an expert in Choco Banana to at least approach the puzzle, but I'm very much looking forward to having a go at this. I looked it up on Logic Masters and it had 4 stars out of 5 for difficulty, but there seemed to be some debate in the comments about how difficult it was, with some people suggesting it was no harder than 3 stars. We'll have a look. This is what we're going to be attempting in today's video. Now, what to mention before that? I've got a few things I want to talk about. Braid. Mark and I did stream it last night. We got copyright dinged again for the music. What can you do? But thank you if you joined us. We did have fun, although what a hard game that is. I mean, somebody described it in the comments as being like Manic Miner with a touch of Super Mario. No. No, it's like Manic Miner with a touch of something incredibly difficult that is definitely not Super Mario and is probably harder than most computer games you can possibly think of. Maverick's about to fly past. Weird timing. but anyway, we did enjoy it, and we will be returning to it probably next week, so look out for that. Next, what else? Well, tomorrow I can't record the morning's crossword video, the masterclass, so Mark is going to be taking over the reins and doing tomorrow morning's video, but I have recorded a video of me solving today's times crossword, and that will go live at 10 o'clock tomorrow over on Patreon. So if you do like watching my weekly trawl, I have done a video for you, but it'll be over on Patreon. So check that out. Then Mark's got a bonus on Patreon as well. He's been recording himself solving the New York Times puzzle Connections. So if you're familiar with that, it's very good fun. I do it every day. It's like Only Connect. The only trouble with it, if you're a Brit, is that some of the connections do require knowledge of Americana, which could be beyond our ken, or can be beyond our ken on occasion. So anyway, there's a bonus video there of Mark's. We're still trotting up towards 600,000 subscribers. Thank you so much if you've been part of that journey. And of course, over on Patreon, we have Lord of the Rings. This is Blob's incredible Sudoku hunt. The competition runs until the 20th of the month. Do have a go at it. If you are a patron, or if you're not a patron, join Patreon. It's a couple of bucks a month, and have a go at this Sudoku hunt. The comments we are getting are just fabulous. People and lots of people are managing to get through it, even those who've not managed to complete a hunt before. So it's definitely doable, and it's giving a lot of people a lot of pleasure. So huge thanks as well to Blobs for helping and creating that amazing offering. And then birthdays. Let me do some birthdays for you. Let's start with Ryan. Ryan, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your wife Faith wrote to us. Now, I think it's Faith, but I'm getting that out of the email address because Faith didn't sign the email, so I'm guessing slightly. But if you have a son called Ewan, then you're the Ryan I'm talking about, and I know your son Ewan is turning 5 this week as well. And is a little number whiz. So I'll say happy birthday to the two of you, to Ryan and Ewan. Many happy returns. I hope you get chocolate cake, of course. Next, Rhonda. This might be for tomorrow. Bill's message was slightly cryptic, but your friend Bill wrote to us, Rhonda, and explained how you've changed his life and put up with his nonsense, and that you love the fact that he loves Sudoku, even though you don't know the secret. And even though you're apart right now, Bill tells me you're going to have the biggest chocolate cake with the correct icing ratio. So Rhonda, many happy returns. Next, Jacob. I'm late with this one, but it's not my fault. You're over there in Appleton, Wisconsin. And you turned 41 in late May. And I know this because your girlfriend Kelly wrote to us. And Kelly apparently falls asleep hearing Jacob watching our videos, and describes herself as our number 2 fan because Jacob is our number 1 fan. Well, thank you, Jacob, for watching. And thank you, Kelly, for sort of vicariously listening to the videos. And Jacob, I hope you had a great birthday. Next, this one's for tomorrow as well. Liana. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Liana. It could be Liana. No, I'm going to go for Liana. You've turned 21. And I know this because your boyfriend Luke wrote to us, and you're down there in South Africa, one of my favourite countries on the planet. And I know you study electrical engineering. And apparently there is seldom a day that passes without you watching 1, 2, or even 3 Cracking the Cryptic videos, which is possible. If you only discover the channel of late, there is an enormous back catalogue to work through. But Luke, Liana, I don't know which, describes you as extremely smart, funny, lovely to be around, and says he's very lucky to have you. So, Liana, I'm going to go for Liana. I hope you have a very good birthday today. Next, Mia, from your boyfriend Rohan. He loves you very much too and knows that you prefer tiramisu to chocolate cake. And I will tell you, Mia, that Rohan was so organised that we received the instruction to wish you a happy birthday. How many months ago? I'm going to say about 10 months ago. It was of that order. It was a very, very long time ago. I did very well to note it in my diary and keep track of it. So I'll give myself a small amount of credit for once. And then finally, Zakar. Zakar, you've turned 70 today. I know this because your son Daniel wrote to us, and the two of you discovered Cracking the Cryptic 3 years ago. And it's a bit of a father and son bonding thing, apparently, where you're often joined by the family dog, Evie, who lies by your side while you're solving Sudoku together. That's lovely. Zakar, many happy returns. I hope you have a great birthday today. Now, with all that said and done, let's have a go at Counting Calories by Marty Sears. This is meant to be a spectacular one, and these are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Then we have to divide the grid into yellow regions and brown regions. Each region must consist of orthogonally connected cells. That means cells that share an edge. So those cells are not orthogonally connected because they obviously, this one is only diagonally connected to these two. So to make it orthogonally connected, we could add that one to the little congregation. Each region must consist of orthogonally connected cells, and 2 regions of the same colour may not share an orthogonal edge. Okay, so that means, so if this was a yellow region, and this was a yellow region, then we couldn't make that also a yellow. If they were separate, I don't quite know what separates them yet, but then we couldn't add that one because that would connect them, is how I read that rule, but it's slightly weird. Brown regions, brackets chocolate bars, must be rectangular, and squares are okay too. Right, so we could have that as a brown region, or that, or bigger things, that, for example. Yellow regions, brackets bananas, must not be square or rectangular. Digits may repeat within regions. Okay. There's a couple more rules. A digit in a banana cell indicates exactly how many banana cells contain that digit. Right, so if you were to put a 5 in a banana cell, so if we had a 5 in a banana cell, that would say that there would be 5 5s in the banana cells in the grid. So it's sort of a counting circles type rule. If you've ever seen, did Marty invent counting circles, or am I imagining that? I think he might have done. But that's That's the sort of analogy I would draw with how the banana cells are going to work. And a digit in a brown diamond belongs to a chocolate bar and indicates the size of that chocolate bar. Every chocolate bar has a different size, right? So if we were to write an 8 into that cell, well, okay, there's a few things that would result from that, isn't there? Firstly, it would be a chocolate bar. Well, we're told that by the rules, but it would have size 8, and that would have to be rectangular, because it couldn't be square. And then if this was an 8, no other chocolate bar could be of size 8. Okay, and then the last rule is that a digit on an arrow cell, so there are 3 of those, indicates the total sum of the closest neighbouring cells in each of the indicated directions. Right, so this cell is summing those two. It's like an arrow type rule. This one is summing, oh no, those 3, or those 4 I should say. So those 4 sum to that one, I think. Okay, and that's all the rules. I have no idea what they mean, but we shall discover it all together. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And we know ab initio that all of the brown diamonds are chocolate bars, so we need... now I do not have brown as a colour in my palette. All right, can I find... Yes, there's a brown. Right, I found brown. Oh, actually, in this second palette, I've got brown and yellow, so I'm going to use those. Right, so these are all chocolate bars. And a digit in a brown diamond indicates the size of the chocolate bar, but every chocolate bar has a different size. Right, so these 2 cells can't be in the same chocolate bar because they would have the same number in them and they would break the rules of Sudoku, so that has to be a banana, I think. Those 2 cells have that same property. Right, so we can divide those 2. We can divide some chocolate bars from other chocolate bars because the digit we're going to write into the brown diamonds indicates the size, and obviously you can't repeat the same digit in a row or column. I've not done terribly well with that. There may be more though. So these can't be in the same. These 2 here must be separated by some yellow between them. There's one. That must be yellow. But it said bananas can't be squares. Right, so this one has to grow. In fact, it's got to grow more than that, because that's still a rectangle. Oh, okay. These have all got to grow. As does this one. They've actually all got to grow by more than 1, because growing them by 1 will still make them rectangular. So... Sorry, I'm not... Yeah, so is the... okay. Right, so look at these 2. They can't be in the same chocolate bar. And that means that there is some yellow down here. Now, that yellow cannot be part of a domino or a square. So doesn't that mean... So it's not possible, for example, for just this cell to be yellow, because it would be square. So that means this must be yellow, and even if it's both of these, that's still a rectangle, so that also is yellow. And this one, which indicates its size, is now no larger than a 4, because it's got to come this way. Oh, and no, it's not 4, because if it's 4, it's going to bump into this one, and that is a chocolate bar that somebody has nibbled, and that's not allowed. That's a chocolate bar. That's a sort of chocolate bar that might be somewhere near me. So that is a 1, 2, or a 3. and this, but it could be a 1, couldn't it? Those two can join together, I think. Okay, what's this? What was the rule about that? You add up loads of numbers. So we add up 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, but these can't be the same number. So this is at least a 1 and a 2, and those are at least a 1 and a 2, which means that square is at least a 6. But this isn't indicating the size of the banana, is it? It's indicating, it's like a counting circles rule. It indicates how many. So if this was a 6, it's saying there are 6 sixes in bananas. Ah, right. But aren't we capped out here? That is an all. Well, okay. I mean, the thought I'm having is that the total number of yellow. Well, this is secret related, in fact. Now, the secret is something I only share with my very favourite people, but if you're watching a Marty Sears video, if you're watching me solve Marty Sears, you're definitely one of my favourite people. I'll share the secret with you. The secret is that all the Sudoku numbers, the digits 1 to 9, if you sum them, you get 45. So that means that the maximum size of the yellow area in this puzzle is 45 cells large, isn't it? Because if we put a 9 into a yellow cell, and an 8, and a 7, and a 6, and a 5, and a 4, then there would be 9 cells with 9s in, 8 cells with 8s in, 7 cells with 7s in, etc., etc. So there would be 45 cells of yellow. That's all there could be. But there are 81 cells in the puzzle. So, but okay, but the thought I was having is, doesn't that same restriction... No, it doesn't. It does nearly apply to the brown regions, because the brown, was it the brown regions or the brown diamonds all have to be different sizes? Hang on, I'm getting confused now. A digit in a brown diamond, every chocolate bar is of a different size. So, how many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's many more than 9. Right. Right. So some of these have to connect together, because I can only write Sudoku numbers 1 to 9 into these 12 diamond cells. So, So there are many things I'm wondering about now. The first is it necessarily the case in this puzzle that a chocolate bar has a diamond in it? Now, the instructions don't say that. So I'm trying to look at where I could put one there, for example. Something like that. Is that a valid thing? And maybe it is. Now, what that means is that I'm not... Although that... Hang on. How would you put... No, hang on. A different question. How would you put... Yeah, I'm going to ask a different question. How would you put a region that was bigger than size 9 into this puzzle in a way that didn't? Because it couldn't. So if let's say you'd put a region of size 10 into this puzzle, then you can't overlap that with a diamond, because I can't write 10 into the cell that has the diamond in it. That region would have to consume 2 rows or 2 columns at least, wouldn't it? And not hit a diamond. There's nowhere. There is nowhere. I mean, there are places you could hide regions, but they're not places you can hide big regions. Right. Okay, so this is getting very interesting. This is getting very Marty Sears-esque now, because what we've now discovered is that there are only 9 degrees of freedom in a way, because there are no regions in this puzzle. Well, let me be precise. There are no chocolate bars in this region of size 10. Now that's a shame. It's a shame from a calorie counting point of view, or maybe it's not from a calorie counting point of view, but because there are no big chocolate bars in the puzzle, i.e. chocolate bars of size 10 or greater, imagine that there was one chocolate bar of each possible size, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Well, that would be the secret again, which is 45. So there's a sort of a maximum of 45 chocolate bars and a maximum of 45 bananas means there's a maximum number of cells available due to the constraints of the puzzle of 90, but there are 81 cells to play with. So I think it's something to do with 9, because if I put 9 in yellow, I can't. Hang on. I'm not sure. If I put... I think it's something to do with 9, because the difference between 90 and 81 is 9, and that is suspicious. So if I put a 9 in yellow, the reason I'm thinking about that is that obviously that means all the 9s in this puzzle. There are only 9 9s in this Sudoku puzzle. So if I put 9 in yellow, I don't think I could have a 9 in... I don't think I could have a 9 in a brown diamond. Yeah, this feels right. But what you could maybe have, and I hadn't thought about this, is could you have a 9 size region that didn't overlap with a diamond? No, I don't think so. If you took the whole of that column, it would touch this diamond, wouldn't it? And if you had a 3x3 region, there's no 3x3 that wouldn't overlap with the diamond. This is so clever, Marty. It's so clever. So what's happening here is the following, I'm going to claim. Let me try and make sure this logic is watertight, because if it isn't, I'm about to extrapolate things that are just total nonsense. So my claim is that if there were 9, if we had 45 of yellow, then obviously 9 would be a digit in yellow, which would mean 9, there would have to be 9 yellow 9s in the puzzle. And if there are 9 yellow 9s in the puzzle, none of these brown diamonds could contain a 9. And therefore, if to have a chocolate bar of size 9 in the puzzle, I'd have to have it, that chocolate bar would have to not overlap with any of these 9 diamond regions. And there is not that possibility. And that means there couldn't be a size 9 chocolate bar. And if there isn't a size 9 chocolate bar, the chocolate bar sizes that we could have would be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, which sum to 36. When added to the maximum size of yellow, which would be 45, would give us 81, which is the size of the puzzle. Now, what happens in the other situation? So let's now imagine that, no. We do have a 9 in one of these cells. There is no possibility of putting a chocolate bar of size 9 in this puzzle without touching one of these things. So the only way you can have a size 9 chocolate bar is if one of these is a 9. And if one of these is a 9, then you cannot put a 9 in yellow, because to put a 9 in yellow would require 9 nines in yellow. So there is either... So, this is so beautiful to me. So there is either... So there are definitely 8 of everything, and one colour has a 9 in it, and it's either yellow or it's brown. Now, how do we work out which it is? I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head. Because what was the implications? It's also interesting to note that because we know that one colour is missing its size 9 opportunity, both colours have all of the sizes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. In other words, there are 8 8s in yellow, there are 7 7s in yellow, but also there are chocolate bars of all sizes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Is there some way to tell this? Maybe I've got to see how many chocolate bars have to be in different regions. Because like that one, that cannot pair up with any other chocolate bar. That can't pair up with any other chocolate bar. That one could pair up with different chocolate bars. It could pair up with that one and that one. That would be lovely. Look, that's a bit suspicious even, because that could be, you could put 9 in all 3 of those. But anyway, that's definitely a different... Oh no, hang on, I don't want to choose that one, because now this one... Hang on, how do I do this? See, these two could be in the same chocolate bar, but that could be the same as this chocolate. Oh no, those two can't be in the same chocolate bar, because they'd be in the same column and they would have the same number. Okay, so that one, that could share with that one, so that one doesn't get a separate purple flash. But that one is different, definitely, from this one. So far we've found 4 different possible chocolate bars. Now, that one, I see that one could tie up with that one in another 9 area. These two have to be indifferent. How many have I got so far? I'm not doing very well with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, definitely. That one. Let's make that one 5. That could join to this one. But this one can't join to this one. So this is a legitimate 6, isn't it? So now I've got 6, but these two could join up to any of these. So that one doesn't get a separate one, but that one can't join up with anything I've already purpled. So that's definitely 7 different chocolate bars, and that one can't join up with that one, so that's 8 different chocolate bars. So there are definitely 8 different chocolate bars, which we already knew, but I've sort of got them now. So the question is there a 9th chocolate bar? And if there is a 9th chocolate bar, where does it go? So I think that could be a ninth chocolate bar. Well, hang on. Well, either that... No, this is it. This is it. This is so... How is this 3 stars out of 5? Whoever said that is a lunatic. This is not that easy. Right, because... Right, this is the point. So we could ask a question about this one. Either this is not in a region with this one. Okay? That's one possibility. And then it would get purpled, wouldn't it? Because if it's not in a region with this one, it can't be in a region with that one, because we'd have to put an enormous number into both of these cells. So the only way, if this one in row 1, column 8 is not in a region with this one, it gets purpled. It is a separate new chocolate bar. But that would give us 9 chocolate bars. And then we would know that there couldn't be a 9 in yellow, because there would have to be a 9 in a diamond. Now, the other alternative to this is that this is part of a different chocolate bar. But if it's part of a different chocolate bar, the only chocolate bar it can be part of is that one, and that is a region of size 9. So what we're learning is that there is a 9 in the brown. There is. Because whether this is on its own, in which case that means this might not be a 9, but there are 9 different chocolate bars, all of different sizes, so we have to put a 9 in brown. Or it joins up with that, in which case it is actually the brown 9. So now that is not a 9, because there cannot be a 9 in yellow, because to have a 9 in yellow would require all the 9s in the puzzle to be in yellow. So now what we know is that the disposition of digits in the puzzle is there are 9 different chocolate bars. But the problem is there could be a hidden chocolate bar now. Because what you could do, if you tie this one up to this, like that, then what's to stop you well, you've got to join some of the others up though. Let me think about this, sorry. So what I'm thinking is, could you just have a chocolate bar over there, for example? And that would be the 9th chocolate bar. But if that's the 9th chocolate bar, then these other 8 chocolate bars have to account for all the other sizes of chocolate bar. Is that how I meant to do this? Or is it something to do like the size 7 chocolate bar? That's an interesting thought as well, isn't it? Because the size 7 chocolate bar can only be a very long rectangle, because 7 is not a square number. You can't, it's not like the 9, which we can do as a 3 by 3. The 7 is just going to be a stripe. I think I'm close to understanding this. I'm close to understanding it, I just haven't quite got it yet. So now, what do we know? I know that so if this is the one that's bothering me. Maybe if I can disprove that. If I could disprove that as a possibility, I don't think... Oh, well... Yeah, I can disprove that. That's it. Right, that is not a chocolate bar. I know it doesn't look like a chocolate bar, but it's not a chocolate bar. That is what I'm going to claim. Now, I might be wrong. I might be wrong about this, but this is what I'm going to allege, and we'll talk about it. If this was a chocolate bar, where do I put the chocolate bar in this puzzle that has to be of size 7? Where do I put it? Because I now know that there must be a size 7 chocolate bar. Because otherwise I can't fill all of the cells in the puzzle, given that there is no 9 in yellow. So there must be a size 7 chocolate bar. Where does it go? A size 7 is a big strip. It doesn't quite go there, because that could be a big strip, but it's only of length 6. And it doesn't go here, which is what I was thinking about, because that would touch this one, and that wouldn't be a separate chocolate bar, and most certainly wouldn't be a rectangle. Now, if I'm missing a possibility here, that is bad, because I don't want to assume this and then rely on it if it's wrong. I think it's right. I can't see how that's possible. And if that isn't joined to this, what is it? It's new. And now I've got all 9. These are 9 separate. These are the 9 chocolate bars. And that means that, oh, hang on. Oh, this is magnificent now. We are away, because that means that everything that's a chocolate bar that doesn't have a purple flash has to join to something with a purple flash. It's sort of the pigeonhole principle. We've got our 9 chocolate bars. Everything else we can't put a 10 into this for obvious reasons. So it has to join up with one of the 9 purple thingies. Now that one, what one does that join up to? It's got to join up to this one to make a rectangle. So both of those are chocolate bar. And now they can't join to this one, because that's definitely separate, or these would have the same number in. So now we have to make a rectangle. So this is, well, it's a square at the moment. It could grow and be like that, or it could grow and be like that. The same is true of this. This has to join a purple thingy, which has to be that one, I think. So those two are definitely chocolate bar. Now this is the interesting one to me, because this one can't now join this one, because that cannot be made into a rectangle. So that one has to join this one, and that is our first chocolate bar, and all of those digits are 9s. This is unbelievably clever. Right, now all of this is now banana, because we need to separate chocolate bars from each other. So now, well, what's this? This is either, actually these are going to have the same number in them, and that number is either going to be with the current size, or 6 or 8, depending on how big this rectangle gets. Oh, suddenly I thought that was pointing at that. I was like, that can't work. It's not. It's pointing at that one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay, that's all right. Right. But okay, it's the 7 issue again, isn't it? Where's the 7? Which one of these chocolate bars is the 7, which, don't forget, is just a 1x7 rectangle? Well, it's not that one, it's not that one, it's not that one. They'd all bump into other chocolate bars, so it's this one, and it can't go downwards, because it would bump into that one. So this is part of a chocolate bar that goes across there. Now, it could go there, or it could go there, but however it goes, those are all chocolate bar. And these are not chocolate bar, because it's a rectangle. So these, we said before, these have to be separated. But that is a 7, definitely. That's a 7. Marty Sears is a total and utter puzzle genius. There, I have said it. How is this not? I don't think this had a 100% rating. Who is doing this puzzle and not just thinking, this is one of the most extraordinary things I've ever seen in my life? It just beggars belief. I mean, I don't know how you could do this and not just think, how has the constructor delivered this much logic and beautiful logic? Anyway, don't get distracted. Come on, what are we doing now? So is it prime numbers? Is it prime numbered chocolate bars we're meant to be thinking about? I mean, that one can't be a very big chocolate bar. It's either one. It can't be a 3, can it? Because it can't reach 3. So that one is either on its own, grows to be a domino, or grows to be a square. It's 1, 2, or 4. The bananas don't all have to be orthogonally connected or anything, do they? No. No. Sorry, I'm a bit stuck now. Let me think. Right. Sorry, this is obvious. Where is the 8? Now, 8 is a slightly more peculiar beast than 7, because 7 had to be a 1x7 rectangle. Now, 8 doesn't. 8 could be a 2x4 rectangle, or it could be a stripe of length 8, but there's no stripes of length 8 possible anywhere. So we are looking for a 2x4 oh, it could be there. Okay, I was going to say it had to be there, but I didn't see it. It could be there. No, okay, so this could be the 8. Maybe... Don't know if there's a reason that that's possible or not. 6 could go up there, or 6 could be a 2x3 rectangle here or here. 5 is prime, so 5 is going to have to... 5 can't go there, but 5 could go here again. That could be a 5. That one can't. Oh, 5 is quite restricted then. So 5 is either here, vertical, or I'm going to claim here, horizontal there, in exactly that position. So either that or that. Now, is there a reason that one of those doesn't work? There might be, but I don't know what that reason is. Oh, can I do Sudoku? I mean, it would be outrageous, Marty. You're not going to make me do that. That can't be 9. You can't put 9 in yellow. You can do Sudoku. You can't put 9 in yellow because there are no 9s in yellow. In fact, that might be a point to think about. There are no 9s in yellow in this puzzle. Hang on, when I put that in, this number moved. It's like a poltergeist in the screen. Look, that number's definitely moving. That's weird. So 9 is not in yellow anywhere, but we don't know. Not really sure where to look, if I'm honest here. Is it going to be something to do with... What's the maximum size of that? 4. Probably. There might be a reason. You see, we're getting to the point where it's getting a bit tricky. How could that be more than 4? Oh, it could be a 6. That's exactly how it could be. I was thinking I might be able to get a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in my chocolate bars, but I can't. Hang on. Oh, Marty, that's so simple. Good grief. Right. how many 8s are there in yellow? And the answer is, because we know that yellow contains every digit except 9, there are 8 8s in yellow. If I put 8 in both of those, they take 2 of the 9 8s and hypothecate them to chocolate bars, and that only leaves 7 8s in yellow, which is not right. So this is 4 or 6. But doesn't that mean that now my places for the 8 chocolate bar are reduced to this one? This has to be the 8 chocolate bar. It's the only way it can go. So that's all a chocolate bar. That's fine, isn't it? 9, every 9 has to be in a chocolate bar. So this is 8. That gets surrounded by banana. Well, now that's great. That's got to be tiny. So now I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in chocolate bars, which means this is 6. This is brilliant. This is absolutely sensationally brilliant. That can't be a rectangle, so it's got to grow. That might do something. Don't know. So okay, so where's the 5 now? That's got to be 5. Just has to be. So 5 goes up like this. That gets surrounded by banana. Don't leave a square in the banana. That fixes the 7 at the top, which now comes over here. This square is no longer a 3 or a 4. It's a 1 or a 2. So the 4 chocolate bar is there, which means it looks like this. Ah, I tried that. That's a total shank misclick. So that looks like that. That's a 1, which means this is a 2 because we've got all the different sizes. This has finished it. It's not finished the puzzle, but it's finished all the shading. There we go. So all my chocolate bars done. Okay. Okay, so what do we now have to do? We've got to use these clues, do we? So we've got to add up those two numbers, which means that this square is at least 5, but it's not 5, so it's at least 6. It's 6, 7, or 8. It can't be 9. I was going to say by yellow logic, but I could have used Sudoku. So this digit, it's not 8 then, because that would put a 4 here. This is 6 or 7, so this is 2 or 3, which is probably not interesting. I would imagine, yeah, where's 9? Let's look at 9s, because all the 9s in the puzzle have to live in the brown spaces in the chocolate bars, so that's giving me a 9 here. It's giving me a 9 here. It's giving me a... No, it's not giving me a 9 there. I thought it was going to give me all the 9s. I got 6 9s from that. Oh, bobbins, that doesn't quite work. Oh, well, there's a little bit more of a restriction on this square, because there's a 2 looking at those two squares. So the minimum this can be is 1, 3 now, which is 4, 5... 6, 7, so that is definitely 7 or 8. If there was no 1 in here, it couldn't be 2, 3, so it would be too big. So there is definitely a 1 in one of these squares. And in fact, does it have to be from 1? Because there might be a 1, 2, 3 triple here. If this was 1, 5, yeah, this can't be 9. Yeah, so this is from 1, 2, and 3. There's a 1, 2, 3 triple. Well, hang on, then it has to be... Sorry, I'm sort of beating around the bush here, but I think that has to be a 1, 3 pair then. Because if it was a 1, 5 pair, it'd be 6, 7, and then this would be at least a 2, and that would be 9, and I can't write 9 in here. So this is 1, 3 somehow. So that's 2. That doesn't actually tell me what this is, does it? 2, 3. Ah, it tells me what that is, though, by mathematics. That's a 6. Which is almost interesting, but not quite interesting enough. Sudoku, there's a 2 in one of those. Now, what do we know about other digits? Well, hang on. There's an 8. Yeah, that's a lovely thought. There's an 8 in the chocolate bar. But we know 8 is a digit that appears in yellow in the puzzle. So all the other 8s in the puzzle have to be in yellow. So there must be an 8 here. There must be an 8 here. Oh, it's in the corner. Because the 8 in this box is in those squares, and the 8 in this box is in those squares. So where's the 8 in column 1? It's got to be here. Yeah, maybe it's better to think about this column logic, because the 8 in this column is the only 8 that is not in yellow. Or maybe not, actually, I'm not sure. There's an 8 in one of those. Because the 8 in this box is the only 8 that's not in yellow. So, how do we do this then? So one of these is an 8. One of these is an 8. There's only one 1 in yellow. So you can't put 1 there. Am I going mad? No, I'm not going mad. If I put 1 there, then in this box, I'm not allowed to put the 1 in yellow, because I've had the 1 I'm allowed to put in yellow, so I have to put the 1 there. But now in Sudoku, I have to put 1 there. That doesn't work. So that's 3, that's 1. So, no, that's not true. But doesn't there... Oh, yeah. Right. In this column, this is the way to think about it. It's not the way I was just doing it, but this is the way to think about it. In this column, there is a 1 in yellow. I don't know where it goes, but it's in one of those squares. And that is the 1 in yellow in the puzzle. So now we can look at the whole of the rest of the puzzle, ignoring this string, this stripe here, which does contain a yellow 1, and say there are no other yellow ones. So this cannot be a yellow 1. So 1 is now in one of those 2 squares in this box. There cannot be a yellow 1 anywhere else. Oh, we must be able to do more than this. Come on. Yeah, bobbins. No, I can't do it there. Okay, yes. Where's 1 in this box then? Because there's no 1 there. We can't put a 1 in yellow because it's over here. So that is a 1. So there's no 1 here. There's no 1 in yellow. So there's a 1 in one of those, which means there is a 1 in one of those. And we now have the 1. It's there, which means these 2 squares are now 1, 2 pair. This is going okay. Right, what about this column then? 3 and 7. Yeah, I can do that. That's got to be a 3. That's got to be a 7 using the power of Sudoku. These 2 squares are now 6 and 5. No, they're not 6 and 5. That's not true. They're 5 and 8, which is a different thing altogether. So 5 and 8 go into those squares. And what do we say about 8s? 8s are all in yellow, so that's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm not sure what to do with that though. Hang on. This arrow is pointing at that. If that was a 9, this would be at least a 10. That's very clear. That's a 1. That's a 9. That's not 9. That's not 1. That's not 9 anymore. Hang on, and it's also quite easy, I'm going to suggest, to get confused about which numbers have to go into which bits. So ones are basic, all the rest of the ones are in brown. So there is a 1 in one of the... Oh no, hang on. Hang on, yeah, where do I put 1 in this box? It has to go there. Sorry, I should have seen that. 1, 2. So now there's a 1 in one of those squares. This 2. What about 2s? They've got to be 2 2s in yellow. But do we know anything about where they may be? The answer is... I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's tricky to know which numbers to focus on. This digit is consecutive with this digit because of the 1 here, and mathematics forces that to be the case. Eights are all in... Hang on, 8s are all in yellow now, aren't they? Because this is the only brown 8. So 8 in this box is in one of those 2 squares. And that means 8 is here. That's great. That's absolutely great. So I get more digits. So now, okay, 8 in this box has to be in yellow. I don't know if it is going to prove to be there, but it could be. So 8 is in one of these squares now. How many 8s have we got? We've got a few, and we have pencil marked them in the other boxes. So, okay, and now these squares are adding up to 5. So this digit has to be a 2 or a 3. Whoops! Oh, I didn't mean to do that colouring. Whatever it is, I've got that. So this is a 2 or a 3. Which is potentially interesting. Threes are quite interesting as well, look, because there are I've found 2 of the 3 3s that I'm meant to find in yellow. So there can't be too many more 3s in yellow. Can we do anything with that? I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Well, okay, I will do something with that. Because there's a 3 here in yellow, there's a 3 there in yellow, and there's a 3 in row 2 in yellow. And that means all the other 3s in this puzzle are not in yellow, and they are in brown. So anything not in those cells, that is useful. So in this box, the 3 has to be in one of those squares, which actually gets me a 3 there. So now I've got 2 of my 3s. I know that the 3 in this row is the last 3 in yellow. So where's 3 in this box? It's got to go there. This is a ridiculous puzzle. It's ridiculous. Now, where is the 3 in this box? It can't go in yellow, so it's got to go there. And that tells me this is an 8 by mathematics. That tells me that's an 8 by mathematics. This is a 3 by the power of something little known called Sudoku. That's got me a 3 up here. This is one of the most brilliant... That's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. I've just found all the 3s. This is one of the most brilliant puzzles you will ever see in your lives, no matter how many Sudokus you have done. This is so brilliant. Okay, and I've pencil marked that wrong. It's 4, 6 and 7, which are the same as those. And apparently I don't really know much about those digits. Bother. So these are 4, 6 and 7. What about this row then? What do we need? 5 and 7, I think. There's probably going to be all sorts of deductions that we can make. Yeah, I mean, what's this? How's that working? That's got to have an odd digit in it. That's the nature of consecutive numbers. So is yeah, okay, that's how to do it. There has to be an odd digit in there. The nature of 2 consecutive numbers. We know these are consecutive because they differ by 1 in value. Well, they can't have those odd odd digits, so they must have a 7. And if we put the 7 there, that's a 6 and it breaks. So the 7 goes here. This is 8. We might want to think about 7s in the context of, they've got to be, oh, that's a 5 apparently. Okay, that's 5, that's 7. 2, 4, 2, 4, 5. So this is a 2, 4 pair apparently. Oh, is that alright with my... Is that alright with yellow 2s? I'm not sure. Hopefully it is. These are 2, 4 and 5. This square is 2 or 4. Can't see how Sudoku. Let's go back to 2s then, because I'm worried about those now. I don't have many 2s in the grid. I can only have 2 yellow 2s. Okay, well there's going to be a yellow 2 in that row, and there's going to be a yellow 2 in that row, so there are no other yellow 2s, and that means these squares are definitely not 2. And that looks immediately like it's going to be quite helpful. That puts 4 in the corner. 2, 4, 5, 2. This is not 7. Okay, so now let's double click 2s again. So I found, so it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be where's 2 in row 5 or something like that. Because you can't put 2 in there or we're going to get 3 yellow 2s. So that's got to be a 2 right in the middle of the grid. There's a 2 in one of those. It could be in yellow up there, though. We've got to be careful with that. 2 is in one of these squares, so that's now become a 1, 2 pair. This is a naked single. I think that's a 7. Which means this is a 4, 6 pair. Let's double click 7s. Can we do any magic with those? Possibly. They've got to be a lot. Oh, yeah. Okay, there are 7 yellow 7s and 2 brown 7s. We found the 2 brown 7s, so every other 7 in the grid is yellow. Which I feel, yeah, okay, so I can't put that as a 7. That's got to be a 7. That took the pencil mark of an 8, so I'm going to place the 8, double click my 7s again and have another think about them. So the 7 in box 2 has to be in yellow, so it has to be there. That makes that a 2. That makes that a 7. That's a 7. And let's double click our 7s. They've all, I think, worked. 4, 5, 6. So this is 4, 5 or 6. This is 4, 4 or 5. This is 4, 5 or 6. Okay, so there's a 4, 5, 6 triple here. We'll probably have to count the other digits in a minute. This is a 4, 5, 6 row, so that's a naked single. Actually, I could have done that. That's slightly embarrassing. All of the digits in that column were placed. I just didn't see. This is a 4, 6 pair in this box. So, what's that digit? Is that 5? I hope so, otherwise I've got a problem. Okay, that's 5. So these 2 squares are 4 and 6. So 4 and 6 are definitely yellowed there. It's probably 4s, isn't it? Because, yeah, well, we can sort of do a trick. Yes, I can do something with 4s. So if we double click 4s, I've got 1, 2 4s in yellow at the moment. But look at this column. One of the 4s in column 2 is yellow, and one of the 4s in column 5 is yellow, so every other possible 4 in the grid that's not in either column 2 or column 5 has to not be a yellow 4. So that has to be a 6, which makes that 4, that 4, that 6, that 6. This can't, for exactly the reason we've just explained, that cannot be a yellow 4. So 5 goes there, 4, 5. How could that be a yellow 4? That's got the same issue. Okay, we're nearly there, aren't we? So now these squares are 5, 6 and 9. Can we do that? Yeah, that's a 9. So that's a 9. That seems to have to be a 1 now. Do I trust my pencil marking? Yes, I do. That looks right by Sudoku. Okay, so that's a 2. That's a yellow 2. Is that a bad thing? No, I've got 2 yellow 2s. That seems to be okay. All right, and these squares are 4 and 6, which means that's 6, 6, 4, 4, 4, 5. And I'm going to claim that that must be the solution to the puzzle. Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh no, what have I done wrong? Oh, I've put these the wrong way round somehow, have I? How did I do that? And is it as straightforward as switching them round? It might not be. Ah, okay. Let me just stare at this for a moment or two. Where did we go wrong? It could have been very late. I hope it was very late. What did I do? I put 6 in there. How can that be a 6? There's a 6 in the column already, Simon. That's got to be 4. Oh, I hope it was just a little tiny ricket of Sudoku at the end. Oh, I've done it wrong again. Now I've got 2, 5. Oh no, is this bad? Is this actually a mistake? This column's wrong. It's got 2 6s in it. So that 6 or that 6 is wrong. Where did that all come from? I'm not sure I trust this 6. Maybe I've got to unwind it a bit further and just... See, that looks okay, doesn't it? So that being a 6... Oh, why did I think that? Okay, well that's something different altogether. I put 6 in there. Then I made this a 9. Now why did I do that? I don't know. Let's have a look at this row. 4, I think I did this by Sudoku. But that's 4, 5 or 9 into this square. So how did I work out this was a 9? Maybe that's the error. Okay, we'll go back from here. So that's 4 or 9. This is 9. Did I make that 9? I don't know what I'm doing. I must have misscanned it. I'm so sorry. 9, 9. Then now this becomes a 4. This becomes a 5. I don't know if that's better or worse than it was before. I think it's just different. What about, what have we got going on then? We've got to put 2, 4 and 6 into these squares. So this square is 2 or 6. This square is 2 or 4. And then 1, 4, 6 into this row. So this is 1 or 4. And this is 1 or 6. Okay. Alright, well, I'm not saying this is right or wrong. It's just different. So probably... Well, hang on. Didn't we say the thing about yellow 4s? How many yellow 4s are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That can't be a yellow 4. So that's 2, 2, 1, 6, 1, 4. 4, 6. Please let this be right. It is right. Congratulations, you have successfully achieved a balanced diet of chocolate and bananas. 51 people in 4.5 days. That is as good a puzzle as you will ever see. It's taken me a little while to solve it because it's only 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty, and that's not 3 stars, is it? I mean, is it? I don't know, but whatever it is a masterpiece. Again, Marty, I absolutely love that. I've got such respect for the setting as well. To design that so that you could reach the conclusion about how the 81 cells had to be composed. And then to position the chocolate bars such that you could prove... I loved the fact I could prove this was either a 9th chocolate bar that way, or it was separate. And so I knew the 9 had to be a chocolate bar size. I mean, it's very important, obviously, that there's more chocolate bars than bananas, frankly, in any situation. And Marty did us proud. That's a worldie. Take a bow, Marty Sears. Let me know in the comments how you got on. And spread the word about this one. Please, please let people find this puzzle. It's absolutely brilliant. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.